All Saints' Day is a day when we remember those who have gone before. We remember our love for them, their love for us, and the legacy and the wisdom they left for us. Many years ago, I was with one of our parishioners, Jim Glass, who was in his final hours. His daughter had flown out to be with him with the intention of never leaving his side. But Jim learned that some of her friends, which she had not seen in years, had invited her out to dinner. Jim was at that point where he could barely speak, and so he asked her to lean forward. He whispered these words in her ear: "Get out while you can." This statement captured both her father's incredibly dry sense of humor, but also would become wisdom she would live by. Being a beneficiary of that moment, I too try to live by those words. So I'm going to ask you to do something. On this All Saints' Day 2020, in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, the worst fire season in history, and a country profoundly divided on the eve of an election, would you be so kind and take a minute to think of what loving and hopeful advice the saints you have loved and lost would offer you right now? What encouraging words of wisdom would they say to you? And when you have a word or a phrase in mind, if you are willing and your device is able, would you share that word or phrase with us in the chat box? I will wait. Do it, do it, do it. Live boldly. Lead with kindness, even when you don't want to. Be kind to others. You call that a problem? And oh hell, just do it. Accept those as they are. Keep your sense of humor. Courage. Live life. Live the fullest. The family is the most important thing. This too shall pass. Stand up and be counted. Go and be and know I love you. Live life fully. Persevere. Keep on keeping on. Love. Be light in the darkness. If it can be solved by time or money, it's not a problem. Never stop learning. Live simply. Always do your best. It's a great life. Love everyone. Cooperate. Stay in touch. We could go on and on. They are still with us, aren't they? They are with us even more in times of challenge. Jesus strings a series of wise gems together in what has been called the greatest sermon ever preached, the Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Now let's be honest here. If we were asked to share one blessing in our lives, would any of these be on our list? Would we honestly raise our hand and say, I have a blessing. I feel so poor in spirit right now. I have a blessing. I'm just overcome with grief. I have a blessing. I'm filled with dissatisfaction and hunger for things to be right. My blessing is I'm persecuted day in and day out for speaking truth to power. These probably are not in the top 10 list of our blessings, maybe not even on the list at all. I think Jesus is not just comforting the people, but is also giving them a challenge. When we think of our blessings as having food, having a roof over our head, having a job, having our health, and not see our struggles as blessings, are we not in danger of celebrating our disconnection from humanity rather than our connection to the struggle? We might be secretly celebrating our escape from our true purpose rather than our engagement with it. I guess it's just human to be grateful for things we have that so many do not. But we are never fully blessed if we forget that love is the blessing. Love, which makes us vulnerable, empathetic, connected to all people and all creation. Love is why we mourn. Love is why we hunger for what's right. Love is why we seek peace for all. Love is why we seek God, whose primary nature is love. And love doesn't stop at any border. If it does, it's not love. Love extends out to all people and all creation. Jesus does go on to assure that we will see God. We will inherit the earth and the kingdom. There's a sense of someday in his words. Justice is coming. Comfort is on the way. Peace is near. But he also ends with a call to rejoice now, because as we feel those longings and struggles, we discover our connection to great people throughout history. The prophets, and by implication, Jesus himself. When we engage in or are cast into a struggle, it is then that we hear the words of the prophets and also the saints in our own lives. It is then, and only then, that we are comforted with the truth that they are still here, right in the depths of our hearts and souls. They are firmly planted within us, and we intimately share part of our lives with them. We are conditioned to think that when we face challenges, it's because God is not there. Jesus offers us the opposite. He was speaking to people who were frightened, worn down, oppressed, grieving, ready to throw in the towel. And he speaks into their struggle fresh words and a new perspective. God is known best in the struggle. Rejoice now, for now you are one, not only with humanity, but with the saints who have gone before. You are not alone. These apparently gentle words are less about patting us on the head and more about taking us by the hand and walking with us back into the world with prophetic energy, courage, and faith. When we welcome the challenges as blessings, we discover that our loved ones are still here. The prophets are still here. Jesus is still here. God is still here and always will be here. And we will still be here through and on the other side of the challenges. Whatever happens in the days ahead, we will still be here and we will still be blessed, because that blessing is never threatened by the challenges of our lives, because the blessing of God is found in those challenges. There is a reason why the cross is our symbol. It is because it is the portal to God and to all blessing. As we are profoundly engaged in the issues of our country, I want to remind us that there are actually several verses to our national anthem. The final verse ends with these words: "Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just. And this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Today and in the days ahead, let the struggles connect us one to another and to God. Be just and be brave and put your trust in God, for that is our destiny and our blessing. Amen.